2018 has been a very interesting year for the Shfiguarts Dragonball line, where we have gotten arguably some of the most unique figures in the line. Some of the figures could have been better, but looking at how the line is progressing, it is clear that this figure line is only getting better and better as the storm closes in on 2019. I would like to mention before making this list that everything on here is an opinion with lots of reasoning put into it. One of your favorite figures may be lower on the list than others, but that doesn't mean that it can't be your favorite figure simply because I feel another figure is better. Also, this list is going to include all of the figures that came out in Japan before December, and following more so what figures were released in the United States. So the SH Figuarts Kid Krillin will not be included on this list, but the SH Figuarts Tian Shinhan will. Before we get into the top 10, let's rank all of the other figures that weren't quite able to make this list. Number 13. Bulma. Without any shadow of a doubt, this figure cannot possibly make it anywhere near the top. As fun as this figure may be to some people, in terms of representation, we don't actually see Bulma like this anywhere in the anime other than in Toriyama's extra art. The accessories for this figure are also lacking, specifically in the faces. Each of these faces all share the same happy emotion and don't have any diversity. We've seen Bulma get mad at Goku, Krillin, and Roshi multiple times in parts of Dragon Ball's wacky humor, so the faces that the figure comes with is a major injustice to the character it represents. The figure also comes with a gun, but no specific face to really pose her with the gun in any effective way. And I'm not going to even get into the fact that it lacks toe articulation. Overall, the lack of posability and the diversity, it just makes this a very disappointing figure. Number 12. Gotenks. In terms of the overall aesthetics and look of this figure, Tamashii Nations did a wonderful job. But as you begin to handle this figure, you will immediately see the problems that it holds. When handling this figure, this face will easily fall off due to the lack of neck room and fittingness of them. Another issue is the inconsistency of the paint between the pecs and the torso. It's not a big problem until you put the figure under the proper lighting. The articulation suffers as well due to the fact that you can't even bend the arm a full 90 degrees, as well as the limited neck articulation. If you can get past these issues, it's actually a very decent figure, and it even comes with the galactic donut effect. But this is definitely not Tamashii Nation's best work. Number 11. Fat Buu. Fat Buu is a very interesting one. He has very good engineering, represents the character well, balances itself very well despite its size, and still has a lot of decent amount of articulation. The only reason he didn't make it on the list is because I feel like other figures are better when compared. Unfortunately, the fun factor of Fat Buu is lacking, and his price point isn't justified from how hollow the figure is. But praise where it is due. This is definitely one of the most unique figures from Tamashii Nations that we have received in the line this year. And now, with all that being said, let's get to the top 10 figures of 2018. Number 10. Majin Vegeta. As many problems as this figure has with the paint and the faces, this is a figure I know that a lot of people still like but cannot help but complain about it, and rightfully so. The inconsistency in the blue paint and having one face that is supposed to look to the right but is looking straight, the lack of hand accessories, all make this look like Tamashii Nation just went lazy with this figure. But when it comes to the veins that are sculpted and the new Buu Saga outfit that we get on this Vegeta, you just can't help but feel the nostalgia when handling this figure. And the faces that it includes as well really represents just how crazy Vegeta was when he turned Majin for the very first time. Overall, they may not have captured the figure properly, but it definitely has captured our hearts. Number 9. Frieza. With this being the 4th time we have received a premium color edition of a non-exclusive figure, Tamashii Nations creates us another Frieza to go along with the Saiyan raised on Earth Goku. Most of the parts that they updated were appropriate, and the new set of faces felt very fresh as well. He may come with less accessories than the original, but this Frieza is more of a representation of how he was in Dragon Ball Super. The new Halo accessory on this Frieza can attest to that. The only reason he didn't get higher on this list is that there aren't enough differences between this and the original to make it deserve a higher spot. And it's a mold we've already seen before. But overall, it's a great figure and one that I recommend picking up over the original. Number 8. Event exclusive Super Saiyan Blue Vegito and Cell. You probably didn't expect to see one of these exclusives so low on the list, and much less see both of them in a tie with each other. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Cell are some of the most well-painted figures in the Figuarts line, which gives them a significant upgrade. Considering that Blue Vegito is its own form and is very different from the Super Saiyan version, it still holds the same mold as its predecessor. Granted, since it is an event exclusive, those are the rules that Tamashii puts with these kinds of releases, but that won't change the fact that the Goku body that the Vegito already stole from is severely outdated and really hurts the figure overall. With Cell, it's just about the same reasoning, except he isn't as outdated as the Vegeta body. To rank Cell higher than Vegeta would be an injustice to the fact that they are both repaints. We've seen both of their molds in the past in terms of paint, and fun factor, I see both of these figures as equals. Number 7. Tian. Tian is a very fun figure to pose around, and it introduces a lot of awesome sculpting to his upper body. The articulation is great and isn't hindered by his gigantic muscles. The accessories he comes with are also really good as well, with a lot of hands, faces, and a little chaozu that you can take and put onto Nappa's back for that scene where he kamikazed himself. Overall, it's a very fun figure to own and is definitely worth having in your collection. Number 6. Kid Goku. This figure does so well in what was one of the earliest releases of this year, and I think he is definitely the most impressive one on this list. The figure is the smallest figure in the entire SH Figuarts line, but manages to keep the high amount of articulation that SH Figuarts are known for. Where I feel like the faces need more diversity, and lack the iconic face when Goku saved Tian from Piccolo, the faces that do come on them leave such a big smile on my face and make me remember the lighthearted series that Dragon Ball was. The flying Nimbus is such a great accessory and gives the figure so much life as you pose him flying through the sky. They killed it with this Goku, and it was definitely a staple figure of this year. Number 5. Master Roshi. Master Roshi is a figure not many talk about, which is most likely due to the fact that he isn't as popular of a character as others. The Master himself as a figure does so much right, especially with how he handles his accessories. The figure comes with a Dragon Ball that goes with Shenron, a gigantic turtle shell that you can put on his back, a cane, many interchangeable hands, and most importantly, his signature sunglasses, which can easily be applied to each of his faces. What makes the figure more unique is his interchangeable beards, which gives the figure more variety with his expressions. The only problem is that the figure is a bit too tall and the hands don't include a pair of proper Kamehameha type hands. It's the strangest thing not to include these kinds of hands considering he created the move. One can argue that Kid Goku should be higher than Master Roshi, which is completely understandable considering how unique Kid Goku is as well. You can probably have these guys in a tie if you really made the list. But with all of the things that Master Roshi comes with, it's all of the smaller accessories that really counts and gives the figure the edge over Kid Goku, in my opinion. Number 4. The Tamashii Nation's event-exclusive Broly. The exclusive Broly is still a repaint of the original, but goes a very long way with what it has. This repaint completely throws the other Broly figures under the bridge and gives what I feel is the most accurate figure from Broly from Figuarts. With this exclusive, they could have gone the lazy route and only repainted the faces, but they went above and beyond with the Broly and completely remastered his facial expressions, making this Broly feel so much darker and evil looking than his predecessors. If you are in the market for a good Broly figure from his first original movie from Figuarts, I highly recommend this Broly over the other two that have been released. Number 3. Dragon Ball Super version Future Trunks. Without a doubt, this Trunks has to be high on the list. With the posability that it offers, a Super Saiyan Rage Head, the Sword of Hope, the intricate design for removing the sword, this figure does so much. Unfortunately, what gives other figures the edge is that this figure does so much that it suffers in basic areas like the faces. The Trunks should at least come with a basic stern face over the smiling face that we got. The teeth-gritted face on the Rage Head has the eyes looking off to the right, which limits the amount of posability you can give the figure. Everything else on the figure is pretty much perfect and absolutely deserves the price point that this figure retails for. Number 2. The Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. This figure's main gem is the price point and how much it gives you with it. This Goku is an easy steal and is so much better than the original. Where it may lack certain accessories, it can easily be forgiven with the price points taken into account. The faces, the articulation, the kanji, this figure gives you all the necessities that you will need to pose this Goku however way you wish. It's a wonderful figure to have, but barely gets outclassed by one more figure released this year. Number 1. The SH Figuarts Goku Black. Yup, you knew this would be it. The SH Figuarts Goku Black. This is a figure that was highly anticipated as soon as it was revealed in 2017, and it did not disappoint. If you saw the review on my channel, you saw how much I shook as I handled and geeked out over the Goku Black gloriness that it offered. The accessories like the blade, the Dark Kamehameha, the Super Saiyan Rose head. So many phenomenal things about this figure. The only real issue was the face is lacking for each form, but that is something that is easily overlooked by everything else this figure offers. I can't be any more happy with this figure and what it gave us. With that being said, guys, what parts do you agree with on this list, and what are some things you don't like about it? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. I'll see you guys in the next year. Till then.